Okay, good afternoon, bowling fans, and welcome to Trindle Bowl here in Mechanicsburg, PA, for the finals of the 21 and under doubles event for today's PJBT here in Mechanicsburg, PA, sponsored by BowlerX.com. We are down to our final 4 teams in each division. We're going to have a 3-game Baker format stepladder finals, and we are going to introduce the finalists here in just a moment.
Okay, once again, good afternoon, bowling fans, and welcome to Trindle Bowl for the finals for our 21 and under doubles event of today's PJBT. I introduce our 4 remaining teams in each division who will compete in a 3-game Baker format stepladder final to determine our champion. I introduce the scratch division. Our number 4 seed team is Austin Nepp and Owen Hauser. In the first match, they'll be taking on our number 3 seed, Robbie Newcomer and Devin Brown. Winner of that match will advance to the semifinal to take on our number 2 seeds, Clay Thomas and Blaze Denny. And the winner of that semifinal match will take on our tournament leaders at plus 444 for 7 games is Landon Freeman and Cody Brunner. Bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our 4 scratch finalist teams for this afternoon's PJBT. Okay, now it's time to introduce our 4 handicap finalists. Our number 4 seed is Cody McConaughey and Caleb Walk. They will be taking on our number 3 seeds, Ben Strickland and James Lucar. Winner of that match will advance to the semifinals and take on our number 2 seed, Mackenzie Holtz and Gavin Lindenboom. And the winner of that semifinal match will take on our tournament leaders at plus 186 for 7 games, Mackenzie Fizz and Bobby Moore. Bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our handicap finalists. All right, we will begin game number 1. Just I've never been more
Grab my bone.
Okay, bowling fans, just a reminder, bear with me here today as we're going solo, so I will be doing all the awards, presentations, and also the play-by-play today. So bear with us as we get warmed up here and we begin match number 1.
I heard your voice back there. I was like,
It's right there.
Jacksonville, okay.
It's got his name on it. I don't know whose water. The blue one is mine, but I think that's Caleb's water. Can you bring? I know. I think it's Caleb's because I bought him a water. I think that's his. Actually, no.
What, you don't want to stand up in the middle of them? Yep. Just search PJBT Bowling Series. Just search our tour on YouTube. PJBT. Yep. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hold on. Beautiful bowl. Beautiful bowl. Hey, I think I bumped the cord and it froze. We didn't start yet, but I think... So just help me to reset again. Okay. Video capture device. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Click on any other option and then got it. And now it's back in. Okay.
Oh, you're mom.
Okay.
Oh, you said mom. I'm thinking mom.
Got it. Okay, I think we're good. Thanks. Bye.
Representation here today.
Okay, sorry about that, bowling fans. Yeah, the screen froze there for a second, so that was my fault, but I think we're up and running once again, so we should be good. So let everybody know we are up and running and ready to begin our first match of the finals. So let me go get them set up, and then we will begin.
He's still got shots.
Oh, excuse me. I mean, if he had gotten that life, I probably wouldn't have known it too much. So, nope, I couldn't. Not if I had faith. Yeah, I didn't have many issues. I told Chris that I did wipe out just basic. like 8:30. Yeah, I'm gone. Chris comes up to fix one on their board. Right after I got there. He's like, that's impressive. I say, look. He's like, you got down in the rain and fixed it before the rain. He said, before the phone even rang twice. I said, be back.
That's your look at the ceiling. 30
Okay,
feet.
fans,
You
it's
see
time
her
to begin
there?
our quarterfinal
Right
matches
before
for
the
today's
snack bar.
PJBT. Starting on the left, on your scratch division, we have number 3 seed, Robbie Newcomer and Devin Brown. Taking on number 4 seed, Austin Depp and Owen Hauser. Robbie and Devin have elected to start the match on the left lane 23. Devin will go first, Robbie second, their team. The other team will go Owen first and Austin second. Okay? On the handicap side, we have number 3 seed, Ben Strickland and James Lukart. Taking on number 4 seed, Cody McConaughey and Caleb Ball. Ben and James have elected to start the match on lane 25. In that order, Ben and James. The other team will go Caleb first, Cody second. And the difference in handicap was 0, so there is no handicap in the system for this event. Right in this match. Okay? Alright, so bowling fans, let's give a nice hand to our quarterfinalists.
Let's go, Team McVaughn! That's Team McVaughn all day!
But, woohoo!
I'm getting shirts. I'm making shirts that say McVaughn on them now.
Okay, bowling fans, here we go. Match number 1 of our 3-game Baker format stepladder finals. If you're not familiar with the Baker format, the doubles teams will bowl 1 score for their 2 partners. The bowler 1 will bowl all the odd frames. Bowler 2 will bowl all the even frames. Okay?
Hey Matt, if you want to use this mic, you can plug it into the board turn when you announce like the next time.
I can if you want.
I mean, it's up.
Fine.
It's up to you. I'll set it here.
Okay.
That way you don't have to scream. I mean,
That's fine.
it's up to you. Use
Yeah.
Use it if you want.
Okay, so first shots.
245 on 23.
You need a 2-4-5. Okay. Can you add the 223? Okay, so Ben Strickland starts their team off with a 5-pin, 9 spare, frame 1. We had a 2-4-5 for Robbie Newcomer. However, the 2-pin must have been taken down by the rack, so we're going to get that set up again. First shot for Caleb Vaught.
Nice.
He comes in high but gets a strike. Again, the difference in the 2-team handicaps was 1 pin. So when you take half of 1, obviously you have 0. And we don't round up in tournaments, so it's a scratch match on the handicap side this game. So Cody McConaughey with a strike. So back-to-back strikes for the Trindle Bowl bowlers to start the first handicap match. First shot for James Lukart. Comes in a little bit high, leaves a 3-pin. So he'll try to pick up the spare. Once again, we started the day with 29 teams, 58 bowlers. Want to thank everybody for coming out. Robbie makes his spare. Lukart up in to fill his spare, and he gets it in the second. So once again, you can tell everyone out there that our message board is up and operational. If anybody wants to throw a message out there. A couple of you let me know the screen was frozen. We got that squared away. Owen Hauser with a strike for the first ball of their team. And if you'd like to do a shout out or have a question, we'll talk a little bit during the breaks about the pattern and the upcoming PJBT schedule. Ben Strickland with a high flush strike in the third. Gives them 39. Austin Knapp leaves a solid 9-pin. So he'll try to pick up the spare. Caleb Vaught, strike in the third. So 3 in a row for McConaughey and Vaught.
Good.
McConaughey makes it 4 in a row with a strike in the 4th. So big strikes for them. While Austin Net picks up his spare. 20 in the 1st for them. So Robbie Newcomer will get his first shot here of the match. Pretty good shot, leaves a 10 pin. Back over on handicap, James Lucart comes in a little bit high, leaves a 9 pin. So he'll try to convert the spare. So once again, for our bowling fans out there, today's pattern was neon. The neon pattern, recreational pattern today for today's doubles event. Newcomer picks up his spare. Lucart does the same. And you can see with the scoreboards at the top of your screen, Strickland and Lucart with 59 in the 3rd with a spare. McConaughey and Vaught with the front 4. Scratch side starting the 3rd frame, 1 pin separating them early. 5th frame, Ben comes in a little bit high, leaves the 4-7. Kind of the same spot the last one was, but the last frame he got it to trip out. Big strike in the 3rd there for Devin Brown. Ben Strickland picks up his spare. 77 in the 4th for them with the spare working. Strike there for Owen Hauser. 4 pin for Caleb Vaught. First miss for them. Streak ends at 4 for them.
Someone's fouled the lock over there.
Caleb picks up his spare. Austin Neff taking a re-rack there on 23 with not having a full rack. Frame 6. Cody McConaughey comes in high, leaves the 3-10. Tricky spare, got to fit the ball in between to convert that one. They've got 127 in the 5th. He goes for the spare. He gets 1. So 136 in the 6th for McConaughey and Vaught. Austin Nepp, solid 9 pin. Pretty good shot. And he'll try to pick up the spare. James Lucart in the 6th. Comes in a little bit high, leaves the 6-10. Austin picks up his spare. James not able to convert the spare, so 103 in the 6th. So that gives a 33 pin lead for McConaughey and Vaught. Robbie Newcomer comes in high flush, gets a strike. It's the first double for the scratch match. Now Ben Strickland. He comes in high again, breaks up the split, leaves the 6-9-10. So he'll see if he can convert the spare. So max score for Strickland and Lucart at this point would be 213. They're Their opponents can still shoot in the 250s. Ben not able to convert the spares, so back-to-back opens. 111 in the 7th for them. Meanwhile, 10 back for Devin Brown. That's 3 in a row for their team. Caleb Vaught up in the 7th. Gets that one a little bit wide. It'll be a 3 count. So, but he's on an open frame, so no harm, no foul if he can pick up the spare. Owen comes in a little bit light, leaving the bucket, as we call it, the 2-4-5-8. Two count there for McConaughey. He goes 3-2. So 141 in the 7th. So that gives a little bit of breathing room potentially to Strickland and Lukart. Big spare here for Owen Hauser. And he converts. McConaughey in the 8th. He goes wide. Leaves the 1-2. So this is an important spare for him. Austin Knepp steps up in the 6th. McConaughey picks up his spare. Austin Knepp with a 10-pin. So 95 in the 5th for them. Right now, they have all but 2 frames with the strikes. And their opponents have 2 spares and all strikes on board. Lukart crosses over and gets a strike. So on the handicap side, we still have a match. Max score 201 for Strickland Lukart. Max score 221 for McConaughey and Vaught. Meanwhile, Austin Knepp missed his spare, so 106 in the 4th. Ben gets a 6 count. So he will need a spare, and now they're going to need some help. Newcomer, 10 back, makes it 4 in a row for their team. So Newcomer and Brown on a roll here in this match. Then picks up the spare. So it keeps his team in the hunt. But they're going to need some help now from McConaughey and Vaught. Devin Brown stepping up, looking to make it 5 in a row here. And he gets it. And a big strike for Caleb Vaught in the 9th.
Yes. Smart timing.
So
Excellent timing for that.
McConaughey just needs a mark and count. Mark and count, and they will advance to the semifinal. Here's his shot.
There it is.
Boom. And he gets a strike. So McConaughey and Vaught will advance to the semifinal. Okay, so they finish with 210, and that will advance them to the next game. Back on the scratch side, Austin Knepp gets a strike in the 8th, but that's their first strike since the 3rd frame. Max score for Knepp and Hauser is 214, but their opponents can still shoot 279 with Newcomer up here in the 8th. Comes in a little bit high flush, leaves the 4-7-9. So he'll probably just want to get count to keep the board clean.
Who said that?
Newcomer gets 2, so that's a good job by just getting the count. They're at 184 in the 8th. So at this point, they just need 1 mark in 2 frames to pretty much lock it up. Blue card will finish with 9 count and 180. So our final score on the handicap side is 210 to 180, a 30-pin victory for McConaughey and Barnes. Ninth frame, strike for Devin Brown. Owen Hauser with a strike in the 9th.
I don't want to be in front of the camera.
So Austin Knepp with a strike, first ball of the 10th there, make it 3 in a row. So not going to bowl a bad game for sure. Just got a little bit out bowled. A couple more spares on the board in the match, but ultimately it was close down to the end. Another strike for Austin Knepp. Yeah, he's going to finish it out strong for his team. He's going to at least make Robbie Newcomer show up in the 10th frame to bowl. He will have to just get a couple of pins. Ten pin, 213. Final score for Knepp and Hauser. So Newcomer just needs count here, and he gets it with a strike. So that will advance Newcomer and Brown to the semifinal match officially. Second shot of the 10th. He's glad that wasn't the first ball of the 10th, as he leaves a pocket 8-10. But the match already locked up. If he gets 1 here, it will be 231, which he does. So final score 231 to 213. On the scratch side, Newcomer and Brown advance to the semifinal. All right, so we're going to give out some awards, and then we will bring in our semifinalists to get warmed up. We'll talk a little bit about upcoming events on the PJBT schedule, so stay tuned. You are watching the PJBT live on YouTube. We'll be back with the semifinal matches next.
But I wanted to try to make it like 10 and go to 1.
Where do you plug this in? Where do you plug it in?
Front of the ball return.
There's a chair.
Then I can't get it. Yeah, I know, right? I'll get out right.
Alright.
Okay.
I feel like shit. I would feel like crap.
Taking my chair.
I'm stepping outside.
Keep walking, bud.
Okay, bowling fans. Let's just put it down there. Everybody knows I don't need a microphone, but they were nice enough to give me a microphone. Okay. Our fourth place finishers in the scratch division. Each bowler individually getting a $50 scholarship, $100 for the team, and a fourth place award goes to Austin Knepp and Owen Hauser.
I thought you was gonna say
All right, and our fourth place finishers in the handicap division also receiving a $100 scholarship, 50 per bowler, and a fourth place award goes to Ben Strickland and James Lucart. All right, bowling fans, on to our semifinal matches.
Trindle Bowl. Trindle Bowl. Trindle Bowl.
Trindle Bowl.
Come on, Trindle. Eric Conrad.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse.
Mike, he's got one. That's his.
Well, centers tell me because I focused All right, bowling fans, hang in there for one moment. I'm going to grab a couple of awards, and then we'll talk about the upcoming schedule for the PJBT. Okay, bowling fans, so just to update everybody on the upcoming events on the schedule, next Sunday will be our girls only tournament. Next Sunday, January 28th, the girls only event is at Jordan Lanes for you girls, starting at 10 a.m. And for any of our scratch bowlers who want to take a chance at a scratch tournament, the Keystone Bowlers Tour will be at Clearview Lanes in Mount Joy, starting at, I believe, a little after 10 o'clock for their next edition of the Keystone Bowlers Tour. Even youth bowlers can bowl for scholarship if they'd like. So if you'd like to bowl next week, 2 events. And then the PJBT will pick up again our next major in the season. 7th major of the season singles will be at Bolero Berks Lanes in Sinking Spring on Sunday, February 4th, starting at 10 a.m. And then also don't forget our updated schedule, which is on our website, is updated since the original schedule. We have the rescheduled Adult Junior event on Sunday, February the 11th. That's Super Bowl Sunday. It'll be at Bolero Heaster Lanes in Reading, PA, starting at 10 a.m. And combined with that event, we have moved the girls only tournament to that day, using the scores from Heasters for the girls only tournament. Okay? So just make sure you note the changes to the schedule. The following weekend, February 17 and 18, will be our East Lincoln Lanes weekend. We'll have a women's only event on Saturday at 2 o'clock. And then we'll have the overall PJBT on Sunday, February 18th, starting at 10 a.m. And then the next 2 events on the schedule have also been flip-flopped from the original schedule. So Sunday, February 25th, will be at Strike Zone Alleys in Pottsville for our Scotch Doubles event. And then the following Sunday, March the 3rd, will be our 3-person team tournament at Clearview Lanes in Mount Joy. So make sure you check out our website, pjbtbowlingseries.com, and our Facebook page for all of the updates to the PJBT schedule and where we're going to be from here out on the 25th anniversary season. Okay, bowlers, we're going to get the semifinals started.
Yes. Next tournament, James. Good job, Ben. What's the perks? I'm still seeing. That's all. I know. Oh no, I'm off the clock. I've been off the clock for a long time.
special features and swagger. Please.
Bye, Jason. I missed you.
Why does that say 33 for theirs? Do they get handicapped? Do they get 33? Yeah? Yes, it ain't.
Okay, bowling fans, time to begin our semifinal matches for today's PJBT. On the scratch side to your left, we have number 2 seed Clay Thomas and Blaze Denny taking on number 3 seed Robbie Newcomer and Devin Brown. Clay and Blaze have elected to have Robbie and Devin start the match on lane 23. Robbie will go first, Devin second. For their team, Blaze will go first and Clay will go second. Okay? On the handicap side, we have number 2 seed Mackenzie Holtz and Gannon Lindemuth taking on number 4 seed Cody McConaughey and Caleb Walt. Gannon and Mackenzie have elected to start the match on lane 25. They'll go in the order of Gannon, then Mackenzie. And the other team will keep the same order. Caleb going first, Cody second. And the difference in handicap, tell me if I'm wrong, 33. 33 pins is the difference in the handicap going to Holtz and Lindemuth. All right? Bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our semifinalists.
Go McMahon!
Okay, semifinal matches ready to begin. Robbie Newcomer will start us off on the scratch side. And Gannon Lindemuth, his first shot of the finals. We got 9 counts on both sides. 10 pin for Robbie, 9 pin for Gannon. Again, these are our semifinal matches for today. Gannon picks up a spare. Robbie does the same. Caleb Bott, first shot is a strike for their team. So with having to make up a little bit of handicap, that's a good start for them. Okay, first shot for the team of Clay Thomas and Blaze Denny. Blaze Denny will go first. Correct. Blaze Denny with a strike for the first shot. McConaughey with a strike in the second, so they pick up right where they left off with a double. Now Mackenzie Holtz will get her first shot of the match on 26. And we get our first look at Clay Thomas on 23. And Mackenzie with a strike. Clay with a strike also. So Thomas and Denny start with a double. So Gannon will be up now in the third. Okay, Gannon with a 6 count. So he'll try to pick up the spare. Devin Brown up in the second for Newcomer Brown. Pretty good shot, and it all goes. Well, we're not going to try to explain how that strike happened because there is no explanation, but it happened. And as they always say, a strike on the board is a strike on the board. So, spare strike for their team. Meanwhile, 6-1 for Lindemuth, 44 in the third, 77 with his handicap. Vaught comes in high, leaves the 7-10. So he'll try to get count there, probably. Newcomer in the third gets a high flush strike, and that's a double for their team. Vaught gets one, so he puts 56 on the board for them in the third. So with the handicap included, they trail by 21 after 3 frames.
Somebody else, whatever. They look like street bowlers.
McConaughey in the fourth. Pretty good shot, leaves a 10 pin. Blaze Denny up in the third. Comes in a little bit light, leaves the 2 pin.
Oh,
McConaughey picks up his spare. So 56 in the third with a spare. Okay, Mackenzie Holtz in the fourth. She comes in high, leaves a 6-10. So she'll try to pick up the spare. Blaze Denny makes his 2 pin.
not on the small one. But over the lanes, put them on those 3 ones. The small ones we can't.
Clay Thomas with a strike in the fourth, so 69 in the third for them. Kenzie Holtz not able to convert her spare, 52 in the fourth, 85 with the handicap. So Gannon will step up in the fifth. Pretty good shot. And he comes in light, leaving the 5 pin. This is normally on a Tuesday night where we let everybody know that we're thirsty. I'm the only one, I guess.
Oh no, rounds for the house.
Oh, there was a round in the bounce. Okay. Devin Brown's ball comes in a little bit high, 4-7-10. And Gannon not able to convert. So a round of drinks on him. 61 in the fifth, 94 with his handicap. That's okay.
Shots of water around here.
Caleb Vaught steps up right away.
Right back at it.
And he goes 10 back. So 76 in the fourth with a strike in the fifth. Brown looking for count. He gets 2. So their team will be at 75 in the fourth. McConaughey missed the head pin to the right, but got some pin action to leave the, as we like to call it, the solid 1 pin. The one in the front. So he'll try to pick up the spare here.
In there.
Which he does. Newcomer comes in high, 4-6-7-10. So that was a tough one. So looks like it'll be back-to-back opens for newcomer Brown. They will be at 83 in the fifth. Okay, Mackenzie Holtz up in the sixth on the handicap side. Comes in high, leaves the 6-10. So she has a makeable spare. So Thomas and Denny in the driver's seat now. If they can put up some strikes here, they can start to pull away in this match. See what Blaze can do here in the fifth. Pretty good shot. Gets a strike. Mackenzie picks up her spare. So that's a good shot for her. First mark of the since the second frame for them. Difference is just 2 pins at the moment as they enter frame 7 on the handicap side. Clay Thomas with a strike in the sixth. Gannon Lindemuth with a strike. So a big strike there for them in the seventh. So Newcomer and Brown, max score at the moment can be 203. Caleb Vaught comes in high, leaves a 3-6. All right, viewers at the moment is the highest it's been all day. So if you're tuning in, tell your friends to tune in. We're watching the semifinal match of our 3-game stepladder Baker format for today's PJBT doubles event here at Trindle Bowl in Mechanicsburg.
Easy. There it is.
Devin Brown with a strike in the 6th for their team. Caleb Vaught picks up the spare to keep that match super tight. McConaughey in the 8th. He gets a strike. Same thing for Robbie Newcomer. So Newcomer and Brown with a double, trying to make up some ground. Kenzie Hulse in the 8th. Pretty good shot. Leaves the 10-pin. So she'll try to pick up the spare. Plays Denny. Goes 10 back. 4 in a row. 6 out of 7 for their team. Kenzie picks up her spare. 3 marks in a row for Hulse and Linda Muth, I should say. Thomas in the 8th. He gets a strike. And they're creeping closer to locking up the match. Gannon Lindemuth comes in, crosses over, gets a strike in the 9th. So that's back-to-back strikes for Gannon. So big shot here now for Caleb Vaught in the foundation 9th frame. Looks pretty good. And he gets 10 back. So big shot there in the 9th. So their max score can be 224. 224 would be their max score. Their opponents could shoot 181, 214. So a solid 7-pin for McConaughey. So what a shot there by him. Now they cannot lock out their opponent with not striking on that ball, but they do have a slight lead in the match. Meanwhile, 2 more strikes on the scratch side for Brown and Newcomer. They can still get to 233, which means that Denny and Thomas have to show up in the 9th and 10th frame, but they pretty much can lock up the match with a strike in the 9th and first strike in the 10th. Plays Denny with a strike in the 9th. McConaughey, 7 count. So they finish with 200 on the nose. 200 on the nose. So now it comes down to their opponents.
Like that 6-1 tonight.
Clay Thomas with a strike, and that will lock up the match for Clay Thomas and Blaze Denny. They will advance to the title match. Mackenzie Hulse comes in high, leaves a 4-pin. And let's see, with the handicap factored in, that will end the match. And McConaughey and Vaught will advance to the title match.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their total is what I thought.
Because it's like scratch 161, 33, that's 194, and they have the 100.
Yeah, so that's 8.
They had to strike this.
Picks up the spare. So Clay Thomas, 279, finishes it off. A great game for Clay Thomas and Blaze Denny as they will advance. And final score on the handicap side is McConaughey and Vaught winning the match 200 to 193. Really close match. So Cody and Caleb will advance to the title match to take on Mackenzie and Bobby. On the handicap side, Clay and Blaze with their 279 will advance to the title match to take on Landon Freeman and Cody Brunner. Okay, final score on the scratch side, 279 to 209. Thomas and Denny defeats Newcomer and Brown. Okay, so that's going to wrap up our semifinal matches. Time to give out some awards. And then we will move on to the title match for today's PJBT. So stay tuned. You are watching the PJBT live on YouTube. Stay tuned as we head into the title match for today's tournament.
Strike it up.
Caleb.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, she's right there.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our semifinal matches for today's PJBT. Finishing in third in the scratch division, receiving a $120 scholarship, 60 per bowler, and a third place award goes to Robbie Newcomer and Devin Brown. Okay, and officially our third place finishers in the handicap division. This team receiving a $150 scholarship, 75 per bowler, and third place award goes to Mackenzie Hulse and Gannon Lindemuth. Okay, on to our title matches for today's PJBT.
Oh, did good. Absolutely good. Don't. Yeah. Can't be upset, Gannon. You did good. Very good. You did everything you could do.
Literally ripped open my thumb for nothing.
Where's my phone at? Here.
See y'all later.
He's like,
You guys better get it. You will stay.
hi.
Say hello.
Hello.
They don't make a difference, but we're gonna find out. Okay, bowling fans, so we're going to begin the title matches here momentarily. Just a reminder that today's pattern was the neon pattern for today. Neon was our pattern for today. We started the day with 29 teams, 58 bowlers. We are down to our final 2 teams in each division who will bowl off for the title. Don't forget to join us next Sunday. PJVT will be at Jordan Lanes for the girls only tournament for the girls. And if any of our scratch bowlers want to take a chance at the adult event, there will be a Keystone Bowlers Tour event at Clearview Lanes in Mount Joy next Sunday. The PJVT full series will pick up 2 weeks from today. Sunday, February the 4th, we'll be at Berks Lanes in Sinking Spring for our 7th major of the PJVT season. Don't forget, with major events, we pay out extra guaranteed money and bonus girls payouts at our major events. So, and then we'll have our makeup adult junior event and girls only tournament all at once on Super Bowl Sunday as a makeup to the postponement earlier in the year on Sunday, February 11th. Okay, so make sure you mark your calendars for the changes for the PJVT schedule. All right, it looks like we're about ready to start the title matches.
Because that's where I'm releasing everything. That's where I'm taking off.
Just smack her on the back.
Necessary. It's a time for a basketball.
That basket's wild.
Yeah, you guys. No. You guys didn't get beat up. There was a lot of questionable calls that should have never been made. Or should have been called. Like I said, how can you still play playoff 5 seconds after the play call? No, I don't know. Well, I know why. It's Niners and Baltimore.
Okay, bowling fans, it is time to begin our title matches for today's PJBT. On the scratch side, we have top seed Landon Freeman and Cody Brunner taking on number 2 seed Clay Thomas and Blaze Denny. Landon and Cody have elected to start the match on lane 23, going in that order, Landon then Cody, and Blaze and Clay will keep the same order for their team. On the handicap side, we have top seed Mackenzie Fizz and Bobby Moore taking on number 4 seed Cody McConaughey and Caleb Vaught. Mackenzie and Bobby have elected to start the match on lane 25, going in that order, Mackenzie then Bobby. Caleb and Cody will also keep the same order, okay? The difference in handicap is only one pin going to Caleb and Cody, okay? All right, bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our title matches for today's PJBT. Okay, we begin the title matches. First shot for Landon Freeman. Very interesting lead as he basically got a 5 count, but then the 2 pin slipped out of there. 1, 4, 6, 10, 6 count. So he'll try to make that spare. Meanwhile, Mackenzie Fizz, her first shot of the match. She leaves the 2, 4, 5. Landon gets 1, so 7 in the first for them. Mackenzie picks up her spare. So, beginning shots of our title match. Caleb Vaught gets a strike. Again, 1 pin only separate our handicap teams, so it really is another scratch match there. Blaze Denny up in the first shot of their team for their team. Comes in a little bit high, leaves a 4 pin. Cody McConaughey leaves a 4-7. So he'll look to pick up a spare. Blaze picks up the spare. McConaughey does the same thing, so strike spare for them to start the match. Now stepping up, Bobby Moore. What a day for Bobby Moore. Let's talk a little bit about Bobby. It helped his team get to the lead of the tournament. In 7 games, he went 199 over individually. Scratch. As he leaves a 10 pin. 278, 216, 265, 223, and 225 were his 5 games of qualifying. Then he shot 203 and 189. So he was clearly one of the highest scratch bowlers of the day, even though he was bowling in handicap. He goes 9 miss. Meanwhile, Clay Thomas leaves the 4, 6, 9, 10. Gets 2, so 24 in the second for them. So both teams kind of trade open frames here early in the scratch match. Yeah, based on my look at the scratch results from earlier today, Bobby Moore had the third highest scratch 7-game total. So, all right, so we have a 610 for Mackenzie, but it's out of range. Just out of range. Okay, so out of range on 25. Doesn't affect the scoreboard at all, being they're on an open. And Cody Brunner with a 2-4-5-8 bucket. So 2 frames in, no strikes yet for the scratch side.
If she missed this, you say it's a nine. We need a correction on the score.
Yeah.
I do think so.
Cody picks up the spare. So that re-evens the scoreboard after 2 frames in scratch.
I fixed it, yeah.
That's why I was here till 2.
And Landon does the same thing, leaves a 2-4-5-8.
Just gotta pull them off the deck.
Okay, so now Mackenzie will go for the 6-10 spare with the 6-pin a little bit moved off of Mark. Landon picks up the spare. So 1 pin separate our 2 scratch teams at the moment. Mackenzie picks up the spare, kind of an awkward 6-10. So again, you're watching the title match for today's PJBT doubles event. Caleb Vaught, pretty good shot, leaves a 10 pin. With a spare, his team would have a 12 pin lead. Blaze Denny gets the first strike of the match. Vaught not able to convert, so 48 in the third for him. 49 with the 1 pin handicap. Conahey steps up in the fourth. Another good shot. 10 pin. Clay Thomas looking for a double. And he gets it. McConaughey not able to convert, so back-to-back opens for McConaughey Vaught. 57 in the fourth, 58 with her handicap. Cody Brunner comes in high, leaves a 6-7-10. Bobby Moore leaves a 3-pin. So spare here by Bobby would give them the early lead. And he gets it. Cody gets 1, so rough start for our tournament leaders as they are at 48 in the fourth. 2 opens, 2 spares, and no count over 7 at the moment. So they're looking to get back on track here, start a new string. Mackenzie Fizz comes in light, 2-4-5-8. Landon, another 7 count, 3-6-10. Landon picks up the spare. Mackenzie looking to do the same thing. She gets it. She got 3 and it bounced off the wall for the 4-pin spare. So Caleb Vaught steps up in the 5th here, halfway through our title match. Give his team the lead with a strike here in the 5th. Looks like it's inside a target. 6, 9, 10. So he'll look to convert the spare. Meanwhile, Blaze Denny, 10 back, 3 in a row for them. Big shot there to extend their lead. Caleb picks up the spare. So it's just a 5-pin match. Handicap matches, 5 pins separate them halfway through the title match. McConaughey with a strike. It's only the second strike of the match for their team, but a big strike there. Now Clay Thomas looking for 4 in a row. And he gets it with a strike in the 6th. Bobby comes in high, I should say, rather, leaving the 6 pin. So he'll look to pick up the spare. Fizz and Moore still looking for their first strike of the title match. Cody leaves a 5 pin. And all the hands in the peanut gallery go up.
It's an expensive tab coming up.
Everyone must be a little thirsty. Bobby not able to convert his spare, so 91 in the 6th. But McKenzie picks him up with a strike in the 7th. So big shot there for her. Oh! Cody picks up the spare, despite what the crowd wanted. Caleb. And he crosses over and he gets a strike. Crossed over. And there's a big strike for Landon Freeman. So Landon gets his first strike of the match. All right, so we got a couple strikes working on the handicap side. McConaughey up in the 8th. And he leaves a 10 pin. So he'll look to pick up a spare. Okay, just to update the board on the scratch side, max score for Freeman Brunner is only 207 at this point. But their opponents can still shoot 264. So Denny and Thomas clearly in the driver's seat. If they continue to fill frames. And Blaze does with a strike in the 7th.
You got it.
McConaughey picks up his spare. So 126 in the 7th. 127 with the handicap. So they have the lead in the match. But Bobby and McKenzie can tighten it up here with a couple more strikes late in the game here. Bobby up in the 8th. Comes in high. Leaves a 6 pin. So he'll try to convert the spare. Clay Thomas. 10 pin. Bobby picks up the spare. So max score for Fizz Moore is going to be 191. Their opponent's max score is also 191. No, let me try that again. No, I'm sorry, say it again. 207 with their handicap. So 16 pins separate our two teams. Kenzie, pretty good shot, leaves a 7 pin. So she'll try to pick it up. Clay Thomas gets his spare. So they can still max out at 243, so they are in the driver's seat. Cody and Landon have, unfortunately, no room for error here at this point. Cody with a strike in the 8th, put up a double. Kenzie picks up the spare. Okay, so max score 180 for Fizz and Moore. So it really comes down to what happens here with McConaughey and Vaught. Landon Freeman fires it down there, leaving the 10 pin. And Vaught with a strike. with a strike in the ninth. So with a mark, they can shut their opponents out. And there it is. Cody McConaughey and Caleb Vaught are going to walk the ladder and be our handicap division champions. Okay, so with the spare, they'll be at 196. $196 is the final score with the handicap. The bowlers from Trindle will be our champions in handicap. And as you can see, the match on the scratch side has also come to a close as Clay Thomas and Blaze Denny will take home the scratch division title today.
Oh! See it? It was looking like it was a nice ball.
Final score on the handicap side, 196 to 157. Cody McConaughey and Caleb Vaught taking home the title.
Great job, guys. Great job. Nice job.
For Trindle.
No, that was great.
All right, so we're going to wrap 196 to 157, our final scores on the handicap side. Scratch bowlers having a little bit of fun being that the match is over. 221 for our winning team, Clay Thomas and Blaze Denny. Freeman and Brunner will be 160-some as soon as they finish up here. And don't forget, we don't do final interviews, but we will wrap up the show. So stay tuned. You're watching the PJBT Live. 221 to 162 is our final scores on the scratch side. So let me just prepare our final awards, and then we will give those out and wrap up the show. So stay tuned. You're watching the PJBT live on YouTube. Time to give out some final hardware.
Age-wise, mental-wise, or body? There's a whole difference. Oh no. That team would have smacked me. That team would have blown me up the water. settled down now, right?
I can't wait to see other negative. That's not.
I hope so.
Caleb and them had they had a double there and they had
No, because he's doing it. Yeah, and they did all the work. They came up, they won 4 matches. That was amazing. This is from Sonia.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes today's PJBT here at Trindle Bowl in Mechanicsburg, PA, sponsored by BowlerX.com, our 21 and under doubles event. Our runner-up finishers in the scratch division, the team receiving a $200 scholarship, 100 per bowler, and their second place awards goes to Cody Brunner and Landon Freeman.
Thank you.
Sterling Hill.
Our runner-up finishers in the handicap division, their team also receiving a $200 scholarship, 100 per bowler, and award for each bowler goes to Mackenzie Fizz and Bobby Moore.
Good game. Good game.
Seriously, Caleb.
Okay, now to crown our champions in the scratch division. Each bowler receiving a $200 scholarship, so $400 for the team, and their first place acrylic plaques for the title goes to Clay Thomas and Blaze Denny. Okay, and our winners in the handicap division, walking the ladder from the 4th seed. Each bowler receiving a $200 scholarship, $400 for the team, and the first place acrylic plaques goes to Cody McConaughey and Caleb Ross. We'll get a picture with our winners and then we'll wrap up the show. Don't forget to tune in next Sunday afternoon. We'll have the finals of the girls only event. That'll be at Jordan Lanes in Whitehall next Sunday, January 28th. PJBT will be back in action full tour next 2 weeks from today. On Sunday, February the 4th, we'll have our 7th major of singles of the PJBT season. We'll be at Bolero Burks Lanes in Sinking Spring. So thank you, bowlers and parents. Have a great day, and we'll see you next Sunday.
You know your name is.
Okay, winners.
Just one of them. Just kick him in the knee. What? I'm knocking you down.
No.
Bow. Eh.
Yeah, I might need to.
good job today.
Thank you. All right, bowling fans, that'll do it for today's PJBT here at Trindle Bowl in Mechanicsburg. We thank everybody for tuning in, and we hope you join us next Sunday. The girls-only event will be at Jordan Lanes in Whitehall, and the PJBT will be back in action 2 weeks from today. We'll have our 7th singles major of the PJBT season. We'll be at Bolero Berks Lanes in Sinking Spring on Sunday, February the 4th. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in today. Have a great week, and we will see you next Sunday from Whitehall.